Samuel de Champlain was a French explorer, soldier, and mapmaker. He had spent years exploring the Atlantic coast of North America and had taken part in founding a settlement in Acadia in 1605. In 1608, he led an expedition to build a fur trading post in the St. Lawrence River Valley, a region known as Canada. Champlain chose a site along the St. Lawrence River that he described as good land covered with trees such as oaks, cypresses, birches, fir trees, and aspens, and also wild fruit-bearing trees and vines, so that in my opinion if this soil were tilled, it would be as good as ours. He called the new settlement Quebec. Quebec also overlooked a good harbor at a place where the St. Lawrence River narrowed. The traders could travel farther to the west on the river to trade with Indian nations. It was far from Atlantic coast where traders from many different countries competed for furs. Plus, animals trapped in cold climates had especially thick and valuable fur. On earlier voyages, Champlain had learned that trade with American Indians created friendship that helped both the French and the Indians by exchanging metal tools, beads, and weapons. The French gave the Indians useful goods to improve their farming and hunting. In return, the Indians gave the French fur pelts, food, and help in traveling in a dangerous, unfamiliar world. The first year at Quebec, Champlain and 27 men built hoped to stay warm that winter after their ship returned to France. Unfortunately, the men became sick with scurvy, a disease caused by the lack of vitamin C. By spring, only 8 men survived. Champlain knew he would need help from the Indians to survive the winters and increase the fur trade. In 1609, Champlain called the leaders of the nearest Indian nations to a meeting at Quebec. The Montagnais from the north, the Huron from the west, and the Algonquin from the Ottawa River sent warriors and leaders to the meeting. Champlain told them he wanted to build a settlement at Quebec. He needed their help to protect the small settlement and to bring fur pelts and for trade. The three nations agreed to form a trade alliance with Champlain. In return, Champlain agreed to help his allies defeat the powerful Iroquois to the south. The alliances kept the colonists who arrived safe. The Huron were expert farmers and traded corn and vegetables with the new colonists. Members of all three Indian nations traveled far into Great Lakes country and brought back large numbers of beaver pelt. They taught the French how to make canoes, fight scurvy, and stay alive through the long winter when the St. Lawrence River froze. The colony grew very slowly. New France still seemed too dangerous and cold to most people back in Europe. In addition to Quebec, colonies had been founded at Trois-Rivières in 1634, at Montreal, then known as Ville-Marie, in 1642, yet by 1660 New France only had 3,000 colonies. In contrast, 58,000 colonies had settled in the English colonies along the Atlantic coast. In 1663, King Louis VI took over the government of France's North American colonies. The king needed more soldiers and colonists to stop British colonists from settling on land claimed as New Europe. For the next 10 years, The French government paid immigrants to move to North America. Most of the men arrived as soldiers or indentured servants. They also worked as farmers or as servants for the priests and nuns of the Roman Catholic Church. These men did the hard work of clearing fields, building and loading ships. King Louis offered more than 750 women the chance to immigrate to New France. Those women who agreed were called the king's daughters. Most of these women were orphans, and most were under the age of 25. The government paid for their voyage and offered them a small amount of money to marry quickly. Many of these women chose a husband, married, and went out to farm within a month of arriving. By 1700s, Canada was home to more than 15,000 colonies. King Louis planned and helped increase New France's population, but England's immigrants continued to exceed that of the French.